Now, gentlemen, give the girls a chance, gentlemen, to get freshened up, and they'll be with you in the lounge. Girls, hurry up, upstairs to the dressing room. Don't wait for the girls now. Please, hurry along. Girls, please, get your makeup fixed. Come back and meet the gentlemen of the press over here in the lounge. Gentlemen, United States. Where's United States?
Here, Mr. Lucas.
Ah. Over here. Must talk with you. Now, girls, remember, when you're being interviewed, be sure to mention our sponsors. And Louise, make a note to remind the interpreters.
Yes. All right, girls, move.
This way, Miss Gilligan. Or should I address you as Miss Dean?
Either. They're both my names.
Both?
Gilligan was my mother's maiden name. I use it sometimes.
Why? In order to amuse yourself? Make trouble for working slobs like me? You're disqualified, Miss... whatever.
Disqualified?
The festival has strict rules about false identification. The festival has very strict rules about girls who lie about their age.
I'm 21.
And I'm Baby Leroy.
Jenny.
Father.
Surprise?
Like the last time. The time before.
Becoming a way of life for us, isn't it? Mr. Lucas.
Yes?
I'm sorry about this.
You're sorry.
You'll handle the press release. I'll take care of any expenses. Personal, otherwise.
I'll try.
When did you get in?
You're supposed to be at school.
I hate Switzerland.
I phoned you, asked you to come to New York this weekend, pleaded with you. But you said, no thanks, I'll stick with my books. Now, what's this all about suddenly? London, this contest?
I don't know. It just happened. Coming, Jenny? Oh, later, Mei Ming. Did she come? Join you?
No.
I wrote a very sweet letter, congratulating you both.
I love her. I wrote that to you. Tried to explain in my feeble way.
I didn't know what to send. Anyway, wedding presents are so out these days. Just like weddings.
I love her and need her. And I'm going to marry her. If not this weekend, then the next. Or the next.
Of course. Is something stopping you, Father? I mean, you come flying over here. Where's Jenny? Enjoying herself? Well, we put an end to that. Oh, don't worry about expenses, Mr. Lucas. You can buy a big stop for me, can't you, Father? But who's stopping you? Who's spoiling things for you? Who's ever spoiled them for you?
Jenny! Jenny!
We'll handle this discreetly, Mr. Dean. I'll announce to the press tomorrow that Miss Gilligan has resigned because of illness.
Is that the name she used?
Your wife's maiden name.
Jennifer! Jen, what's wrong in there? Jen, open up! What? No, don't touch it!
Take your seats as quickly as you can. Where's United States? Anyone seen United States? Oh, Mr. Lucas, United States is gone again. She wasn't in a television interview either.
It's all right, Louise. She's with the doctor.
Doctor?
Nothing serious. She had an attack of some kind when she came off the stage.
Oh, poor girl. Is she...
Don't worry. She's in good hands. Now, you go on. Take the rest back to the hotel. If I need you, I'll call you.
Will she be well enough for the finals tomorrow?
Well, I hope so. But you go on. The girls need their rest.
Mr. Lucas, I'm Strange, Adam Strange.
Mr. Strange at last. Come in. Come in. Terrible thing. Terrible.
How long ago?
About 10:30. Just before Mr. Dean phoned you.
10:30, eh? Height of theater traffic, streets jammed, ridiculous time for a kidnapping.
Very company, Adam. If that child is hurt, I'll never forgive myself.
Don't distress yourself, Otis. Judging by the amount of blood here, it's a very small scratch, and maybe the kidnapper scratched himself. You know, Otis, what you really should have done was to have notified Scotland Yard about this.
Well, that note is an explicit warning.
Scotland Yard has plenty of experience in dealing with warnings of this kind.
I couldn't risk it, Adam, for Jennifer's sake.
A lovely girl, isn't she? How old is she now?
18.
Huh? Must have been all of 7 when I saw her last in New York. My goodness, she's got Edna's eyes, hasn't she? Very lovely. Very stubborn, too, huh? Huh. Yes, it was a beautiful wife you had, Otis. Beautiful daughter, too.
Help me find her, Adam.
Oh, I'll help. When did she come here?
Lucas? Tuesday.
From?
School, Geneva.
You and your fiancée, of course, thought she'd be coming to the States for your wedding. Not here.
No, we wanted her to come home, but she refused.
I see.
Well, Adam, the girl's been away at school these past 2 years.
Here in Europe?
Here in Europe. First, Edinburgh. Walked out of that one. Then Florence. Walked out. Then the latest, Geneva.
Walked out?
Walked out. Now, and I know what you're thinking, old friend.
Is your old friend so wrong in his thinking?
Most assuredly wrong. I was overprotective of her after Edna died. Spent too much time with her. Thought she needed me as much as I needed her. Or so I thought.
That's natural enough.
Jenny didn't think so.
Why not?
I don't know. Kids these days. You figure them.
Who is that? Hold it. Is there an extension?
Out there.
I'd like this on the tape, just in case. Otis, you watch me and lift it up when I do, all right?
Hello?
Otis Dean, please.
Speaking.
The price is £20,000, old man, in small, unmarked notes.
20,000.
Have it ready by noon tomorrow.
How do I deliver it?
No sweat, Dad. Don't call us. We'll call you.
How'd you get on that?
Piece of cake. Have it ready by noon tomorrow.
How do I deliver it?
No sweat, Dad. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Recognize the voice?
No, not at all.
When he calls tomorrow, insist on speaking to Jennifer.
And if he refuses?
Refuse to pay him the ransom.
I can't do that. He'll kill her.
No, he won't. She's worth £20,000 to him.
She's worth a lot more than that to me.
The reporters, Mr. Strange. What shall I tell them?
Oh, the usual things. Candid, straightforward lies. Seriously, Otis, we ought to contact Scotland Yard.
Not yet, Adam, please.
There's only a limited amount I can do.
Then do it. Do all you can. I don't want them on this case.
We'll see. Evening.
Evening, Gab.
That one. That one. Yeah. That one. In fact, I'll have a copy of every magazine you've got.
Yes, sir, one of each. Now, friends, but you do love to read, don't you?
Yes, it helps me to sleep.
I don't mind. Maybe a whole stall if you pay for it. I'll even chuck the missus in as well.
It won't be necessary, thank you. Evelyn, have you seen Ham? What?
He's asleep.
Oh, we'll wake him up.
What are you doing? Planning a bonfire?
No, we've got work to do.
Oh, Adam, not now. Look, this is the first time it's been still for 5 minutes, and it's going so well. Hey, what a beautiful girl. Who is she?
She's one of the finalists in the Worldwide Beauty Competition, or whatever they call the thing.
Hey, let me see. Where's this? Hey, that's not too bad.
She probably photographs much better than she looks.
Now, come on, seriously. What do you read in that face?
Well, the eyes. The twinkle indicates mischief, impetuosity, daring.
Chin?
Aggressive, determined.
Stubborn.
Yeah, she's stubborn, all right. Mouth?
Too big.
Warm, generous.
Sullen. I bet she's terribly spoiled.
Now, there's an aura of self-assuredness about her. I bet she's from a well-to-do background, and yet she seems so sensitive, so vulnerable.
Ham, come on, really.
Come on, we've got work to do. You take that line. Ham, come on, into the laboratory. We've got some blood to analyze.
Blood? Whose blood?
Hers.
What happened to her?
She collapsed quite suddenly. It was a terrible shock to us all. Miss Gilligan is in a nursing home undergoing some tests. We'll know more about her condition tomorrow.
Who is the doctor?
Yeah, one doctor home, sir.
Please, boys, I've told you all I know.
I talked to the contestants at the hotel. They don't believe she's sick at all.
You know what girls are.
Well, they think it's a publicity stunt.
Mr. Lucas.
Any comment, Mr. Lucas? Is it a stunt? A gag? I've heard this Gilligan girl would do anything for a headline.
Have it ready by noon tomorrow.
How do I deliver it?
No sweat, Dad. Don't call us. We'll call you.
It's a curious thing. There's no anxiety, no tension in that voice at all.
An old pro, most likely.
I'd say a young pro. He calls out his dad. No sweat dad. That's young. Young and arrogant. No regional accent that I can hear. I'd say it was the voice of an expensively educated young English gentleman. He knew Jennifer's real identity, was familiar with her. Calls her Jenny in that note. And competent, too. He whisked her away at the most impractical hour and made it work.
He probably had help.
Oh, yes, yes. Judging from the state of that dressing room, Jennifer must have put up quite a fight.
Yeah, like a chicken.
What?
His blood is pure, unadulterated chicken blood.
Although her condition is not serious, Miss Gilligan has acted on the advice of her physicians and withdrawn from the festival. In the finals tonight, her place will be taken by the contestant next most qualified, Miss Lydia Bajcek of Yugoslavia.
When can we see Miss Gilligan?
That won't be possible. She's already left for the United States. Thank you. That's all.
Oh, Mr. Lucas.
Sorry, gentlemen, that's all the information I have.
Slim form bikinis will be furious.
Well, I can't help that.
United States was supposed to model their new line tonight.
Yugoslavia will have to do it.
Slim form has no outlets in Yugoslavia.
I made us some breakfast.
Oh, marvelous. Well, don't want that light anymore, do we?
Black?
Copy.
Ha ha! I got it! I got it!
Don't shout.
Look. We'll die. Same typeface as this.
You're right.
It came from this magazine.
You
You
clever
good old fellow, you've done it, you've done it.
Thank
Very said. Well, it took a long time, didn't it?
The Young Sophisticate's Guide to Fashion.
No.
Hey, look at this super leather coat. Do you think that's smashing?
Evelyn. Now, come on, children, wake up. We've got all these letters. Now, they've been cut from 4 magazines, 2 fashion periodicals, an American news magazine, and where's that hippie thing?
Yeah, hallucination.
Hallucination, right. There they are. Now, what do you make of the kidnapper?
Well, it's obviously a woman. She's
Yes?
young, fashion conscious.
Yeah.
Interested in world affairs and the problems of youth.
Right.
Now, does it occur to you that we're describing the victim rather than the kidnapper?
Jennifer Dean.
Uh-huh.
She's probably the same person. She arranged her own kidnapping.
But don't be so daft. Why would she want to go and do a thing like that?
A prank, a cheap publicity trick. A spoiled brat demanding attention.
But it's so bizarre.
Bizarre, so is chicken blood in a dressing room window, but it was there. We lost a night's sleep over it, of all the stupid, ridiculous...
Steady, Ham, steady.
Adam, it's a case of pure, simple logic. You can't kidnap someone at 10:30 in Piccadilly Circus without their cooperation. Now, the note came from her type of magazine, the blood came from a lousy chicken, and I'm going home to bed.
But you're jumping to conclusions. A girl who organizes her own kidnapping can't be all bad. It takes a lot of imagination, a lot of guts, desperation even. I'd have thought you'd be fascinated.
I don't enjoy losing a night's sleep over a cheap publicity
Yeah,
stunt.
maybe she's doing it to raise money.
A father has all the money that money can buy.
Maybe she's raising it for someone else, or she was forced into it. Or there's always the hideous possibility that our conclusions are quite wrong. No, I suggest that you re-examine the situation.
Jenny?
Morning.
One of the hazards of kidnapping. No privacy.
Privacy? Privacy? Honestly, privacy, Dad. No privacy? Oh, wait a minute. Look here, observe. Allison Manor. The last stronghold of the good old British Empire. And it's all ours. 1, 2, 3.
Isn't your family...
In Nice. Imagining all the money they're going to get when some sucker eventually buys this silly place.
My old man's the gardener. He doesn't count. Anyway, he's on holiday.
So, you see, it's an ideal place to be kidnapped. Breakfast?
Yeah, I found
And I've got some gear for you. Hey, wait a minute, Jenny, wait a minute. Dividing it equally, we decided, remember? We're in this together, right?
Right.
Jenny?
Right.
You worried?
What about?
Your father.
No.
You worried about something?
Well, I think maybe we ought to call him.
Ring him, Jenny Penny. Ring him. You're in England.
Oh, ring him up. Better?
Much better, yes. No, I think we let him wait. Why spoil his drama? Today, fruit and nut, and this. And tomorrow, caramel cream and the world. What are you looking so happy about?
I've been doing a bit of worrying too, Toby. If he pays out that ransom, we're guilty of extortion, aren't we? Then what have we got to show for it?
What have we got to show for it? You're joking. We got £20,000.
Oh, yeah, for the international...
Student Disaster Fund.
Yeah, well, big deal. Now, listen, Toby, don't you think it's about
It's a very
time...
groovy cause, Perk, baby. It fights famine, disease, disaster, flood, and ennui. It's French. For boredom.
Perk, wait.
Revolt of the working classes resents French, and he thinks he's entitled to some of the 20,000.
He thinks you shouldn't treat him like a rug. He's a nice boy, Toby.
Oh, he adores me. And you. And anything out of his grasp. And £20,000 is well out of his grasp. And as I said, he thinks he's entitled.
Oh, come on now, Toby. I mean, this whole kooky plan was your idea.
You helped with the details, darling.
We agreed that all the money would go to the fund.
All of it?
Every penny.
£20,000. What's that in dollars?
A lot.
I bet your new mum gets that intruso pin money alone.
You know, You're very attractive, but your sense of humor stinks.
I wasn't trying to be funny. Attractive, did you say?
Yeah.
Anne.
Brilliant.
Anne.
English.
Is that a compliment?
When I'm in England, it is.
Flirt.
Why not?
Otis?
Any news? Anything at all?
Yes. Yes, we've identified one of the kidnappers.
Who?
Jennifer Dean.
What in the world are you talking about?
Jennifer. The words in this note, Otis, they were cut out of 4 periodicals. We've been checking on the subscription lists. 2 in London, 1 in New York, 1 in San Francisco. Jennifer subscribes to all of them. There you are. Mademoiselle J. Dean, the Chapelle School, Geneva, Switzerland. Paid in full.
Oh, the blood. You conducted your tests?
Yes. Chicken blood.
Why?
I don't know. You're her father. I thought perhaps you could tell me.
I can't. A cheap, lousy little prank.
Not so little, Otis. This is a pretty violent prank that Jenny's pulled.
Adam, what are you trying to tell me? That Jennifer's disturbed? Mentally, maybe?
Emotionally, that's for sure.
Oh. That she's crying out for attention. Is that it?
Obviously.
Adam, you're hinting that I deserted Jenny. Left her alone. You're wrong. She walked out on me. It was her idea to leave home, study in Europe.
Come and sit down, Otis. Tell me a bit about this coming wedding of yours, if you don't mind. You invited Jenny, and she refused, correct?
Correct.
Why? Because she disapproved?
I suppose so.
So I take it that she and your bride-to-be...
No. You're wrong. Jenny's never met her. Never wanted to. And if you're going to start analyzing that situation, don't think that I haven't. Young girl resents mother's death. Young girl resents new mother substitute. Except that Jenny isn't that young. She's 18. And Edna's been gone for 9 years now. Time passes. Tears dry. Mine had to. Early, in order for me to survive.
And Jennifer, have her tears dried?
Well, they should have. We all learn to cope with death.
Has she learned to cope? Your daughter?
Well, we don't ever talk about it. Edna, the past, if that's what you mean. Prank or not, I want you to stick with me on this, Adam, till it's cleared up.
Don't agree to anything till you hear her voice.
Otis Dean speaking.
Your instructions, Mr. Dean.
Put the money in a paper bag. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, go to Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park.
Take the path that runs parallel with Park Lane. Put the bag in a dustbin at the farthest end, nearest to the speakers, then leave.
Is that clear?
Jennifer. I'm not paying anything until I know my daughter's alive.
All right, hold on.
Hello? Father?
Jenny. Darling, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, Father. Don't worry about me.
Mr. Dean, 3 o'clock, remember. And no police and no tricks.
I've never heard him sound like that. He sounded scared. Worried. Really worried.
I'll be back in a jiffy. Filthy rich.
Great. Hey, Toby, how much of the money do you keep?
None of it. It all goes to the Student Disaster Fund. I thought this was understood.
I've got a better idea. We'll give Perk his share, take the rest, get married, and settle down in Brazil or Samoa or...
Toby, I'm being serious.
Well, so am I. I'm asking you to marry me. And what could be more serious than that, right, Perk? Right.
Toby, you promised me. I'd never have gone through with this if I thought that...
We'll settle it when I get back, all right?
No. We'll settle it now.
Jenny, honey, you've been rich all your life. You can afford to throw money away. But Puck and I...
I'm calling my father. Oh, give me the phone, Toby.
Just you keep an eye on her.
Oh, I simply cannot accept it. If you look into the history of civilizations, you will find that every one such fight. Why? Are we not as much citizens as from Ivanhoe, my friends? When Israel of the Lord beloved, his book contains the meaning of life. The Lord has come. Has he not promised? Of course we complain. You think you will win him by paying him sixpence?
Whirlpool contaminated air. Poison. Stifling, unclean, putrid poison.
And I say unto you that the atmosphere is not poisoned by industrial waste. It's not poisoned by carbon monoxide. No, my friends, the air we breathe is poisoned by the unclean thoughts of the sinners amongst us. Cleanse your minds, and you'll cleanse the air that you breathe. Now, some of you might think my theory strange, and strange they might well be. But to you disbelievers, I say, look about you. Open your eyes and you shall see where there is dirt, there is danger, even death.
And where there are unclean thoughts, there's death to the soul and spirit.
Clean thoughts is a clean life. If you think clean, you live clean, and if you don't think clean, you're gonna die dirty. You there! You, the man with the dust cart of garbage! What's to become of that trash? Probably burned in the fires of the city of London, sterilized by the flames. Friends, there are no fires to sterilize an unclean thought, except the fires of hell, of the devil's subway, of the Satan's underground.
No. No, you do not have my permission, Adam. You know better than to ask.
Otis, your daughter's missing and your money's missing. But with this photograph, the yard can begin to move.
I don't want Scotland Yard in on this case. There's too much at stake. I just want Jennifer back.
Unharmed. Then for heaven's sake, man, trust my judgment.
All right. All right, Adam. Whatever you think best. But please, don't call the yard unless it's absolutely essential.
All right. All right, I'll give you my word.
Can we bring the yard into it?
No, he refuses. Unless it's absolutely essential. How about that soil?
Oh, white paint, marine enamel. Apparently rather fresh.
It adds up. The soil is alluvial.
A-L-L.
UVIAL. And here's something interesting. It's contaminated with traces of calcium bisulfite.
That comes from paperworks, doesn't it? Use it for making pulp.
Paperwork's on a river.
Medway Estuary. There's a big paper mill there.
No, fresh water, no salt. Paperwork's river.
Thames?
Could be,
It could be one of a dozen rivers. Now, who could pinpoint this for us?
Scotland Yard.
And who alone could do it quickly on a Sunday?
Scotland Yard.
Yes, I think
it's essential.
If only you'd called us in on the case sooner, you wouldn't have lost your man in Hyde Park.
Possibly, Hughes, possibly. But I had to give my word to my friend that I wouldn't call the yard in till I absolutely had to. Well, anyway, the point now is that we need you and you need us. So why can't we get down to business?
We need you?
I think so, yes. I think you'll need this photograph. The kidnapper collecting the ransom money.
Park keeper?
Yes, he looked like a park keeper, but he wasn't. I've checked. That uniform he's wearing is makeshift.
After he left Hyde Park?
He scooted back to Henley.
Don't you ever knock.
Sorry.
Now, what's all this about Henley?
Well, according to the soil samples taken from the kidnapper's shoe, he was in the Thames Valley area very recently.
If you don't mind, I'll have our laboratory do the soil analysis.
Well, they did. I just spent a half hour with them.
Only to save a bit of time, you understand, Hughes.
Here's the report, sir.
Downstream from Paperworks. Suggest you try Berry Corporation Henley. All right. See what Henley has to offer.
Hughes, may we come in on this with you?
Well, it's going to be difficult to keep you out. Come on.
Jenny, stay inside. I don't want any more trouble.
Can't we talk?
Nothing to talk about.
Burke.
Now, listen, Jenny. You started the ball rolling. You know what I'd love, you said? To make that father of mine pay. Now, that's what you said. Now, get back inside.
But, Burke, listen. We were supposed to give that money to a charity. You and Toby planned to take the money all along, didn't you?
Toby makes the decision. It's all arranged. We're going to Brazil. Got reservations, passports, everything. Look, we need that money a lot more than the student has asked us for.
You won't need it in prison.
I told you we're going to Brazil.
How do you plan to keep me quiet? You'll have to take me with you, or kill me.
Jenny, listen to me. I didn't think it would end up like this. Look, I didn't want you to get hurt, not even a little bit.
I want you to let me go, Burke. Please.
Jenny, I can't do that.
You and Toby can take the money, go anywhere you like. I won't file charges against you. You'll be free and clear. And rich.
Stupid, as soon as I let you go, you'd turn us in right away.
You have my promise, Burke. My solemn word. What must I do to convince you?
Nothing. Get out of here, Jenny.
Thanks, Burke.
Jenny. Now, you promise. You swear.
I swear.
Buttercup!
Toby, look at him.
He's dead.
Let me go.
If he lives here at all, they'll recognize this picture in the post office.
Alliston Manor, about 4 miles on.
Pulse is strong.
Oh, where's the driver? Look in that ditch shoes. Perhaps he's rolled in.
No. Probably gone for help. Bring a blanket over, will you?
How is she, Ham?
She'll be okay. Couldn't have happened too long ago. Bruise on her forehead is just beginning to discolor.
Oh, where's that driver? Wherever he is, he can't have gone far. The engine's still hot.
You're gonna be okay. Hey, Adam.
Jim?
Look.
What?
You're right, it's her.
Jenny. Hughes!
I radiated for an ambulance.
No, this is her. This is the girl.
Bingo?
Yes, Jenny. Jennifer. Jenny!
Toby, you've got to find Toby.
Hey, I saw somebody working down the road. Maybe he saw something.
We'll go and have a look.
Get the car turned around.
No. Now, you stay here and keep quiet. Now, Jennifer, you don't remember me, do you?
I'm Adam Strange, an old friend of your father's. Oh, you've kept us all very busy looking for you. Oh, no.
That's funny. I could have sworn he was working here.
Let's drive on a bit.
You go ahead. I'll have a look around. Feeling better? Bit wobbly, eh? Well, the ambulance will be here soon. Look at those duck going over. It's the end of summer. Happy now that you've got your revenge? That was it, wasn't it? Punishing your father for something?
Please don't.
Do you think he deserved it?
Yes, I do.
What was he guilty of? Neglect? He told me he was with you all the time after your mother died. That it was your choice that you left home.
It was my choice.
Then it must be this coming marriage. You feel that he...
No.
What then?
I really don't want to talk about it.
Jenny, I know your father. I know how much he loves you. How terribly concerned he's been about you. I just don't believe that he'd do anything to you to deserve what you've been putting him through. I don't believe either that you're just a spoilt, malicious child.
It wasn't what he did to me. It was...
Well, go on. I want to help if I can.
It was my mother. She was so terribly sick at the end. I was only 9 at the time, but I knew she was going to die. And Father knew, too. But he went away. Left her.
Went where?
Oh, off on some business trip. Money was more important to him than my mother. She died crying for him.
And you've hated him for that all these years.
Oh, no, I'd forgotten it. But when I got an invitation to a wedding, it all came back. I couldn't stand the thought of him being happy again, not after what he'd done. I thought the best way to punish him was to make him part with some of his blessed money.
Do you think he hasn't punished himself enough already?
What do you mean?
I had a wife, a very dear wife, who died, and I wasn't there. She was killed in the war. Oh, I couldn't help being away. I was in North Africa. But that hasn't stopped me reproaching myself bitterly.
So how much worse must it be for your father? A man doesn't forgive himself very easily. But I hope that my daughter, if ever I'd had one, would have forgiven me.
Mr. Strange, Thank you. I guess I am a spoiled, malicious child. I hope my father will let me make it up to him.
Come on, Jenny, tell her. It was just a joke.
They know all about it, Toby.
Now, wait a minute. You were part of this little deal, love.
I know. May I go home now, Mr. Strange? I'd like to see my father.
You go with the doctor, Jenny. I'll have your father meet you at the hospital.
But Jenny!
Right, there we are. Otis.
Thank you.
Evelyn. Thanks. Jenny. You take the small glass. It's not good for
Now,
you.
if I may, a toast. To Adam Strange, old friend, good friend. And to Hamlin Gint and Evelyn McLean, new friends. And to my daughter, Jennifer.
And here's to the new Mrs. Dean. Many happy years, Father.
That's right, the new Mrs. Dean. Many happy returns. And I've something to say, too. Here's to Otis, who's going to pay, and Evelyn, who suggested the most expensive restaurant in London tonight. Well, that's right. No, now steady, Am.